That does make a blocker, but we have borrowed time. Our opponent, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did it. Oh, yes. Brine Comer, make a bunch of dudes. Borrowed time, make some dudes. Exile the blocker, and attack in the air for lethal. Our opponent scoops it up. Wow, even with the... Greetings, all my happy friends, and welcome back to the MTG Struggle Bus, where I struggle more so you can struggle less. And we're back for another iteration with Hallowed Haunting. This is a enchantment for 2 white. As long as you control 7 or more enchantments, creatures you control have flying and vigilance. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, create a white Spirit Cleric creature token with this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of spirits you control. So of course, we're going to be diving into some spirits and some enchantments. And how are we doing that? With the latest variant of Disturbed from Crimson Vow, which is a bunch of spirits that you can disturb and bringing them back as auras, aka enchantment. So everything in the deck is either minus the Geist Snare that we'll go ahead and talk about. Geist Snare, counterspell for 2 and a blue. You get this spell cost 1 less to cast if you control a spirit. So right there, it's a way to make it mana leak. And then of course, it also costs 1 less if you control an enchantment. So another way to make it a mana leak, or even make it a single blue to counter target spell unless its control plays 3 additional. And let me tell you what, this card is extremely powerful in this deck when you're on the board and beating down your opponent. So, that being said, going back to my initial statement, everything else in the deck is either a spirit or an enchantment, which is fantastic. Lantern Bearer is a 1/1 spirit for a blue, flying, disturb 2 and a blue. Enchanted creature gets a +1/+1 and flying if Lantern. And of course, all these enchantments, they have the text if it would be put into the graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. So that's just the typical disturbed clause. We have Circle of Confinement. For 1 and a white, you get an enchantment. When Circle of Confinement enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls with mana value 3 or less until a Circle of Confinement leaves the battlefield. Whenever an opponent casts a vampire spell with the same name as the card exiled with Circle of Confinement, you gain 2 life. Cradle of Safety. For 1 and a blue, you get an enchantment aura. Flash. Enchanted creature you control. When Cradle of Safety enters the battlefield, enchanted creature gains hexproof until end of turn. Enchanted creature gets a +1/+1. So essentially, a way to keep some of our like Katildas and like bigger, maybe some of the tokens off of Hallowed Haunting, bigger, as well as a way to make an additional spirit at fast or instant speed. So Mischievous Catgeist is a 1/1 cat spirit for 1 and 0 blue. Whenever Catgeist deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Sweet. Disturbed 2 and a blue. Enchanted creature gets the same text. Dorothea, Vengeful Victim, is a 4/4 spirit for white blue. Flying, when Dorothea, Vengeful Victim attacks or blocks, sacrifice it at the end of combat. Disturb 1 white blue. Enchanted creature, whenever enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, create a 4/4 white spirit creature token flying that's tapped and attacking. Sacrifice the token at the end of turn. So a way of making your own Geist of Saint Traff, which is super cool. For Borrowed Times is our removal spell that also triggers as an enchantment. This card is great because it gets rid of any permanent. For 2 and a white, you get an enchantment that reads, when Borrowed Time enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls until Borrowed Time leaves the battlefield. Katilda, another key part of the deck. Katilda Dawnhart Martyr is 1 white for a star spirit warlock. Flying, lifelink, protection from vampires. Katilda Dawnhart's Martyr, power and toughness are each equal to the number of permanents you control that are spirits and or enchantments. So she can get out of hand very quickly in this deck. Disturbed, 3 white. Enchanted creature has flying, lifelink, and protection from vampires, and it gets +X, where X is the number of permanents you control that are spirits and or enchantments, and it also has the typical disturbed clause. So super cool. We could putting this on like one of our Hallowed Haunting spirits is absolutely amazing. Already talked about Geistner. And then finally, Brine Comer, is a 1/1 spirit for 1 white blue. When Brine Comer enters the battlefield or becomes the target of an aura spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying, disturbed, blue-white. And then, of course, it comes back as an aura whenever Brine Bound Gift enters the battlefield, or enchanted creature becomes the target of a aura spell. Create a 1/1 spirit creature token with flying. So this deck goes wide very quickly, and of course sometimes can just go big with Katilda. Shout out to Saffron Olive for being the person that I got inspired by this deck for. You can catch that breakdown and video on MTG Goldfish, of course. But without further ado, let's jump into some gameplay. Alrighty. This looks pretty keepable. We have a curve, so we'll keep it. I think we'll be able to draw another white source at some point. Go ahead and get on curve. Maybe we get lucky and draw a card. Get to leave the shields up. See him on a white. There we go. Look at that. Let's go ahead and get in there. And I think I'm going to be more worried about their 3-drop than their 2-drop. Famous last words, but that's normally when they can exile something or make something a little more expensive. That's ironic. Let's see here. Is it worth Katilding? I think we're just gonna get in there in the air. I think we're gonna use our kitty cat to block. We'll send it back. Use the Geistner here. Go, seems solid. Counter that. So we don't get too far ahead, but we also don't fall behind, which is pretty... Oh, alright. Well, if they're going to do that, we'll just take it because we get to draw a card. Look at that. Alright, let's get in there. Let's draw a card. Ooh, and we get to do all the things this turn. Like that. Go ahead and play Katilda. Gotta play our Lantern Bearer. There might have been an argument to just play another Catgeist, just because this could be their exile now. Spellbinder. Okay, we're actually not worried about that. We could still play our Geist next turn. Our opponents can get him for 2 if they want, but they're going to take quite a bit. And they see the writing on the wall. So let's go ahead and just play this to make Katilda bigger. Cat is probably gonna die to Thalia, so let's just swing this way. That way it guarantees us having something to do next turn. We could block Catgeist to make it enchantment. Feels pretty good. Usher of the Fallen, not something we're worried about right now. We have 1/1 chump blockers for days. Valor Stance seems fine. So now the question is, do we want to suit up Katilda in the air? Or do we want to put it on one of our flyers? I think we're okay with the trade here. We could technically almost Katilda here, actually. So, yeah, I think no blocks is correct. Ooh. I like that. So... we're doing with our lives here. Let's go ahead and attack. Could exile the Spellbinder, get in. We could wait and see if they trade, then exile Thalia. But at this point, I don't think Thalia is doing work. Should have thought about this a little bit further, but I think we are just going to go ahead and attack. If our opponent blocks on both, we're happy about that. Okay. Seems fair. Let's go ahead and circle. Get a 3/3. Exile that. Depending what our opponent does here. Alright, not worried about that. Not worried about that either, surprisingly enough. So yeah, I kind of get the feeling last card in their hand is another Thalia. And our opponent scoops it up. Yes. Nice. Blue white spirits taking down mono white. Nice. We are on the draw. Think we'll keep this. Could be wrong. Drawing another land, not what we wanted to see, especially against mono green. Maybe a little bit of a slower hand. Borrowed time is going to give us a way to deal with oh, alright. Green, white werewolves. Fair enough, opponent. Don't think we're blocking. We're just going to get him for one. They are going to get to ramp. Unfortunately. Making it nighttime already. We play another naturalist, though, so I think it could have been worse for us. I'm not sure if we want to save the borrowed time or not. Katilda is a way for us to get back in this game. Can't double spell right now, unfortunately. Probably gonna have to leave the Lantern Bearer back to block. So let's go ahead and play Katilda. Leave back a blocker. Use protection from vampires, not werewolves this go around. Feeling pretty bad. Should they have... They have triple snow, so brawl. Sure enough. Opponent. Kind of going off. Don't think it mattered either way if we had played borrowed time there or not. Maybe. I mean, we still would have lost Katilda. They're going to play Arlen. And... I don't think we have a way back from this. Double spelled, but awkwardly, we can't double spell. Actually, our opponent didn't do anything, so I think we are just gonna exile Arlen. Take two. So let's see here. Next turn we can go Brian Comer plus Mischief Cat. Doesn't look like we're gonna have a solid window, unfortunately. Opponent making all of the mana. Nice job, opponent. Let's see here. So, play Comer. Make a dude. Play a Mischief Cat. And then, maybe, probably gonna chump block with the Brine Comer and the Spirit. Makes our dude weaker. So let's chump block here. I guess if we chump block here, no, we can't. We could put that on there, but we're pretty much playing Katilda. And we just have to take it. Opponent decided not to play anything, so it would be nice to double spell here. Unfortunately, Don't think there is a good way to do it. We have to target this to make another blocker. Needed one. Yeah. No attacks, unfortunately, but we do get to gum up the board. None of our opponent's units have trample. So we're gonna chump block with Cat Geist, put it on the Brine Comber. No attacks from our opponent. Ooh. Ooh, and we could double spell this turn. I am liking this, my friends. Playing Katilda. We can play Lantern here and draw another card. That doesn't do much. We're gonna Cat Geist. We're gonna attack for 8 lifesteal. Our opponent is gonna take it. Our opponent's gonna take it. We flip back on today. We have chump blockers. Both our Katilda and Brine Comber are outside of our opponent's reach. And our opponent scoops it up. Oh man. Nice. Alright, our opponent is on the play. We have a Dorothea into a Brine Comber with Cradle of Safety backup. I think we can actually play this. So we're going to keep this Glacial Floodplain on turn 1. Opponent playing, it's going to be a little interesting. Good news is we have Borrow Time. They'll give us a decent way of dealing with their Lolth or Professor Onyx and not have to worry about it being recurred by the Blood in the Snow. Ooh, and Hallowed Haunting. I like to see that. Let's go ahead and get Dorothea on the board. I think if our opponent wants to kill that, we're kind of okay with that. I'd rather honestly hold on to our Brine Comber. Wonder if there's an argument to play Brine Comber a little bit later so we can leave up Cradle of Safety. Don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, in all honesty. Just because our opponent normally plays board wipes. Let's go ahead and play Brine Comber anyways. And then we'll hold one other creature whenever we draw it. Though Hallowed Haunting will give us a steady stream of creatures as well. I was just wondering if maybe holding on to the Brine Comber was a little bit better because of the fact that it allows us to kind of rebuild our board after a board wipe, right? Maybe that was a consideration, but I think with Hallowed Haunting we'll be okay. Trying to think if our opponent has a removal spell or if they were sitting on Deadly Dispute. I feel like if it was Deadly Dispute, they would have fired it off there. Ooh, I like that. That's a good draw for us. Let's go ahead and go. So again, don't quite want to lose Dorothea. See if our opponent doesn't want to do anything. We'll get in there for one. Could be playing towards a Meathook Massacre as well. We're okay trading an iTwitch for a Spirit token. I think that is fine, honestly. We are going to go ahead and fire up the... Well, shoot. Next turn is their... This is kind of interesting, right? Because next turn is their Lolth turn. So I wonder if we just want to counter that. There's a Deadly Dispute. Fair enough. That all resolves. Man. Yeah, them getting a treasure token is a little bit of a pain. So Trying to think here. Trying to think. They could board wipe us if they want. I think we're just going to play Hallowed Haunting. If they board wipe us, we have 2 ways of getting stuff back. Would have been sweet. We can leave up Geist, so let's see here. Hopefully they just do the environmental sciences, and we're very happy about that. They lol. Gosh darn it. I knew it. Freaking knew it. That's fine. That's honestly fine, because now we get to leave up Snare. Like I said it. I said it. But honestly, having the borrowed time to deal with her, I think is okay. Yep, they're going to try to keep her alive. We could exile stuff, so we're just going to borrow time. Make us a 4/4. We're going to exile her. We're going to attack for 1. No, we're just going to attack with our big dudes. We're going to hold here. Because we have the Geistlight Snare here if they choose to board wipe, and I think that puts us in a pretty decent spot. We can Circle of Confinement the Eye Twitch. That's going to make a 5/5, and then we could swing. If our opponent wants to, like, single point removal, we're okay with that. We do have to be cognizant of their hive. That is fine. We're really just going to try to counter their board wipe is really what we're worried about. We can Dorothea the Brinecomber if we want to. Nice. So, let's see here. Dorothea plus Circle of Confinement means that we are unable to leave up Geist Snare. I think that's incorrect. So, let's simply circle here. Make another dude. Here, exile that. And then attack for 4. Could also just kill the Brinecomber. Could play... I mean, Kratos' safety here actually might not be a bad idea. See if our opponent tries to double block here. Yeah, I think I'm okay cradling here. Cradle here, make a 1/1, make a spirit, block both the dudes. Feels pretty good. Alright, send it back. If they want to exile Dorothea, I think we're okay with that. If they board wipe us, they don't have enough mana to play for Geistlight Snare. So it's looking pretty good. There's the blood in the snow. We're gonna counter that. And that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Dorothea on the Brinecomber. Make another dude. Make another dude. And get in there. Boom. Oh, yes. That's what I like to see. Nice. We are on the play. I really don't want to see 5 lands. I'm kind of tempted with a Catgeist, though. Maybe we get in... Yeah, I'm going to keep it. It's more lands than I think we should keep, to be completely honest with you. But I kind of like the idea of having... Of course, we draw land. Why would we not draw land there? I like the idea of being able to play our Hallowed... Let's see. Green-white Landfall, it seems like maybe... Druid class. I like what our opponent's doing. I like it already. Draw. Jeez. Louise. So let's see if our Katilda can get there. Leaving up Kratos safety for the rest of the game probably is going to be safe. I really like what our opponent is doing. So... Jeez. Insane. Let's get in there. Wow, are you guys seeing this? This is preposterous. So we're just gonna lose to not drawing anything. I guess I deserve it, keeping a 5-lander. Our opponent's gonna give us some time. Mulch, I like it, I like it. It's gonna get to the point here where we're gonna have to... Ooh, Doomscar. Cradle of Safety does not help against Doomscar, unfortunately. And we don't have a follow-up play, so... Gonna need a survey, alright. Super cool. So we are gonna need one of our hallowed hauntings for sure. Another Katilda. Not quite what we wanted to see. Let's get in there. There we go. That's making me feel better. So let's see here. So, do they... Ooh, alright, so they're running Cultivator Colossus. Has Trample, but not Reach. Cultivator Colossus comes down. Let's see. 1 land. Do they fizzle? Nope. 2 lands. They got a layer of the Hydra. Nice! Alright, that's what's up. Alright, we need a borrowed time. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, my friends. Oh, a turn too late. No, the flood is real. And that card is going to do absolutely nothing now. So let's see here. What are we trying to do? Play the Cradle Safety. Gain some life. Make a dude. Keep Catgeist around. So, do we just play our other Katilda? Oh, we could, and then sack the new one. Okay. So, did we see point removal? I don't think we did. So, let's see. We could play... No, we already played our land. So, here to here. And then... Playing Katilda here does nothing. Attack for 6. I mean, the one thing about playing Katilda is it does trigger that, and then we could play her next turn. We still get to leave up Geistnir, so yes. Play Katilda. Sack Katilda. Oh. Oops. My bad. I clicked the wrong one. My bad. Mulch resolves. That's awkward. I hope... Yeah, that's super awkward. Alright, cool. We get to counter this one, thankfully, so we don't get wrecked out of our minds. Man. It always asks you which one you want to keep, not which one you want to destroy. I don't know what I was thinking. I think we just want to draw a card, so no blocks here. Man, I'm still slightly irritated about that. This would have been significantly bigger. We do have to be careful because our opponent... Luckily, we're going to have chump blockers, so... Still really irritated about that. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. I guess we can double up Katilda. We can also make one of these spirits bigger. Is that better? Wish we could also play Brinecomer. So I think I could leave one back on defense, but that's not going to work, right? I think we just go here because we want to gain as much life as possible. Yeah, we're not chump blocking, so let's ace base. Can we get an enchant? Oh my gosh, the one would have made the difference. Oh my gosh, the 1 health would have made the difference. Jedi. Oh, they call this the struggle bus for a reason. Alright, that comes into play tapped. We're at 35. I think we're still going to be able to steal this game. I mean, they gotta fizzle, right? So they'll still be able to activate one of these. They're gonna gain a ton of life. Nice. Nice. Super cool what our opponent's doing. 18. Ren. That does make a blocker, but we have borrowed time. Our opponent, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did it. Oh, yes. Brinecomer. Make a bunch of dudes. Borrowed time. Make some dudes. Exile the blocker. And attack in the air for lethal. Our opponent scoops it up. Wow, even with the punt. Oh man, Blue-White Spirit's getting it done. We're on the play, and we have a Lantern Bearer, but that's about it. 2 lands with 2 Hallowed Hauntings doesn't seem like quite enough, so we're going to ship it. Okay, we can keep this. We'll send back a Plains. Turn 1 Lantern Bearer. See if we can get, like, one of our Geist Snares. Okay, we've been here before. Let's go ahead and... Okay. Was not expecting that, but okay, that's what I was expecting. I was pretty surprised about that because they probably want to wait till the Deadly Dispute. So let's see, they attack us. That's fine as well. Ooh, Katilda over Brinecomer. I think we wait on the Katilda. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wait on the Katilda. Play Brinecomer. Man, hopefully we can do what we did earlier and get one of our Geistner to counter the Blood in the Snow. That puts us in a very good position. Katilda would have been more aggressive. But, maybe it should have been Katilda, actually. Just to apply pressure to our opponent, right? We're going to leave the Brinecomer in hand. I don't want to, like... Yeah, shoot. The more I think about it, I think it should have actually just been the Katilda. So let's see. Our opponent is going to have up to 4 mana next turn. Because then this will put a pretty serious clock on our opponent. Yeah, because then we could go follow it with Brinecomer plus Katilda. Yeah, so we probably are going to run out the Katilda here. Just to apply pressure to our opponent. Would like to still see a snare. I'll feel a lot better if we get to see a snare next turn. Either a snare or a Hallowed Haunting. One of the two. Opponent's really thinking about this environmental sciences here. So this is interesting. Alright, they're firing it off. Seems fair. Go ahead and grab their swamp. Have access to 3 mana. Oh no, they played their land, right? Yeah. Alright, another Brinecomer. So that does make me feel better about everything. So let's get in there. And then we're going to play a Plains. And then hopefully the auto tapper does leave up a blue. We'll play Katilda. And now we're just going to hold here. Let's see. So Katilda could technically become a, let's see, 6/6, 8/8 next turn. But I think we are going to hold the 2 Brinecomers for post-board wipe now that we don't have anything. Unfortunately. Dorothea does put it to where this... I like that. So we can for sure... play Dorothea. And then I think we just get Lolth off the board. Stinks a little bit. They are 2 turns away now. So let's see how they choose to block here. And they're just going to keep their guys around. I think we're okay with that.
Nothing more.
Probably still going to hold Dorothea back. We have one more turn. Another Lolth would be kind of bad here. Only because... Alright, Thirst, that's fine. Do we want to go all in on this, right? Like, we know what's coming next turn. God, it felt so much better if we had Counterspell here. Dorothea here, get in for a bunch, right? I actually should have maybe just put on Brinecomer. If we attack here, maybe they don't board wipe. So we're going to lose, what, Brinecomer here? Nice. So they definitely want to save life. Okay, okay. I'm alright with that. So they board wipe. They're going to get back Lolth. We play 2 Brinecombers. And then we can give a Brinecomer. Well, the flying doesn't matter. But we can... Oh! Oh! Well then. Hey! So they may have the removal spell. They do not. Right? They don't. Do we just go for it? Oh, they had to have Eye Twitch. Man, I would have definitely gone for it there. Because we could have, yeah, made this absolutely huge. Let's go here. And then simply attack in the air so we don't lose our Brinecomer. I feel like that's safe. So, get in like this. Block, take it. Alright. So they're gonna go grab the Exile, right? Fair. So they're exiling that. But we're gonna get... Oh yeah, exiling Dorothea. Or Katilda means we don't get the enchantment part of it. Fair. Fair, opponent. They lose their 1 blocker. That's going to leave us with 3 damage. So we could have been a little more aggressive. Maybe we should have attacked with Brinecomer just to trigger the enchantments. Yep. That checks out. Alright, so what are we looking for here? Another one's a little awkward. Another Katilda does work. Another Katilda does work. So let's get in for 2. Or do we want them to block, actually? They don't have the board wipe. I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. Because what happens is, if all this stuff dies, right, then we can fire up the... Right? So that's actually pretty darn good for us. So I think that's good enough. Opponent's been pretty aggressive about this pinpoint removal. They're going to try... Oh, nice. Nicely done. They do get to eat our Katilda, unfortunately, and they gain some life. Alright, alright. Man, alright, our opponent's doing a good job of holding this down. Let's attack. If our opponent blocks, we'll make a spirit. Okay, fair. Fair. Target Brinecomber, gets us a spirit, triggers an enchantment, makes a spirit, and now feeling pretty safe of our position. Our opponent can't just straight up attack into us. There's a Lulth. We could for sure kill the Lulth at least, so there is that. Losing spirits makes our spirits smaller. Do they have one more piece or more for our Brinecomber? Shambling Gas, not going to do it. It also does mean, though, we don't quite get to attack with our token. So let's see, we could send 3 here. Do we just go face with everything? They won't be able to draw a card. Right? We attack here. I think we just send everything. Playing Dorothea makes us another dude. No, it doesn't. But I want to keep these 2. So I think we just send everything face. Maybe 1 here? No, because this forces blocks. So if we attack in the air 1, 2, 3, 4, they could just block the one that keeps her around. I think this is correct. Interesting. So they're gonna let her die. Okay. Are they double blocking her? Okay, they're at 2. You get to kill something. Oh, I didn't think about that. That enough things died for her to make flyers again. Alright, let's... Yeah, I think we can hold... Man, do we go for the board wipe? We play Brinecomber and just target it again, make a bunch of dudes again. This is a little risky, right? Oh, but they can exile, so we have to play Brinecomber this turn at the very least. Let's just go here. Yeah. I think this still presents a good lethal, so I think we just hold here. I really just don't want to get wrecked by the blood in the snow. And maybe we should have gone for it, right? They're going to have 4 blockers, but only 2 could block in the air. They can attack and gain a life if they want, but... So it may have to be board wipe or bust here. Getting a ton of value off of this Hallowed Haunting. So they go 0. They're digging for the board wipe. They didn't get it. They didn't get it. They can dig again with Merchant, but then they won't have the mana to do it. So I think we're good. Could be wrong, but I think we got there. I think we got there. They're digging. Yes. Yes. Oh, man. Blue-white spirits getting there. Love it. Love it. Nice. Oh, yes. That's what's up. That is what's up. Man. Excellent. Yeah, this deck has some serious play to it. Serious play to it. I really like what's going on here. Man, it's fun to play too. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. That was great. Man, honestly, I feel like I don't feel bad. This deck felt pretty good. I mean, granted, the worst couple of games. I think the flexibility between Katilda and Hallowed Haunting, you know, kind of to either go really big on one creature or spread it across, really makes this deck kind of powerful. The Geist Light snares were fantastic. I think they were very crucial against matchups you knew. I can easily see these cradles switching out for Circles of Confidence, just for, or Confinement, correction, for additional removal, but I do like the idea. It didn't happen on screen, but you know, potentially saving a Katilda with a Cradle of Safety seems pretty strong as well. The deck is fun. The deck is fun. Still pretty small sample size, but you know what? It's fairly inexpensive. So the Mythic is super specific. But at the end of the day, that's what Mythics do, and sometimes you just kind of have a ton of fun playing them. So yeah, I think this deck is, yeah, I'm going to put it at a 4. I think it could still easily kind of get lost. Like, that last game would have been completely different if our opponent did have their Blood in the Snow, right? So I don't think it's completely foolproof. You do need to draw some things in the right order, but overall, I was definitely impressed with the deck. A lot of fun. So I'm going to put this one at a 4. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Until next time, as always, happy gaming.